Israel, Shalom, it's your brother Joshua. Israel, Shalom, it's your brother Joshua. Shalom, it's your brother Joshua here. Israel, Shalom, it's your brother Joshua here with examples of the light. It's your brother Joshua here with examples of the light with another quick breakdown. Shalom, Israel, Shalom, it's your brother Joshua here with examples of the light with another quick breakdown. First and foremost, we got to give all praises to Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. That's giving all praises to the Heavenly Father in the name of His only begotten Son, who the world calls Jesus. Second, I'd like to give double honors to the elders that have been pushing this truth with sincerity. Last but not least, we can give another strong shalom to our brothers and sisters out there who are allowing their light to shine, that others might see their good works and glorify the Father, which is in heaven. Like I said, Israel, it's your brother Joshua here, and we got another good topic. Yes, Israel, we got another good topic. We are going into so-called Father's Day. Oh yeah, this time of the year, the third week of June, they always have this so-called celebration of Father's Day. And you have a lot of fathers want to be recognized for things they never been doing. What? Let's say that again. We have a lot of fathers out here that want to be recognized for things they have not ever done. Why you ain't called daddy today? It's Father's Day. Hey, well, you ain't never been a daddy. And a real father, I'll keep it 1,000 with you. A real father don't have to be recognized once a year on a so-called day that the white man tell you to recognize your father. If you're a good father, you raising your children the right way, they already appreciate what you do for them. You don't have to be like, fall of the world, like, oh, we should take your dad out to breakfast or lunch or something. Hey, y'all going off, man. Hey, don't get it, man. And this, y'all follow y'all oppressor so much, and it angers me the most. We're gonna try to make this thing quick, Israel, because we don't want to, go too much, but we got to deal with a couple of things. We're gonna deal with, first and foremost, it's not by God. You're supposed to honor your father every single day. If you're training your children the right way, you won't have that problem. But you left off from your first love, so you would never, teach your children right. But for those who didn't know, it's not for you. For those who's trying to do things better and different, Lord's will, your children will bear with you. But for those who saying, well, you better honor me because I brought you into this world. Hey, no, that's not how that works, man. And we're going to deal with fathers today, too. We're going to deal with it. We're going to deal with these fathers. We're going to deal with the kids. We're going to deal with everything. And we're going to show you, if you really want to honor your father, or if you really want to be celebrated as a father, you're going to do everything that this book tell you to do. So, furthermore, Israel, we're going to start off with 1 Peter 4:11, like we do every topic. Let you know that we're never, ever going to speak our words. We always going to speak thus says the Lord. Because guess what, Israel? You don't know nothing. This is 1 Peter 4:11. If any man speak, let him speak as the oracles of God. If any man minister, let him do it as the ability which God given. That God in all things will be glorified through Jesus Christ, to who we praise and dominion forever and ever. Amen. We always going to speak thus says the Lord, Israel, because we don't know nothing. Have no idea what is nothing. I like to always say that our people love to follow their oppressor because that's what their oppressor taught them. Let's go to it. Let's go to Proverbs. We always got to get the classics, especially with these silly times of the year, because everybody can have some dads. Let's say you new in the truth. And like we don't do these pagan days. My dad gonna be mad because I ain't called. Hey, well, your dad better be mad, man. Who you gonna obey, God or man? I'm gonna get that in a second too. This is Proverbs 3:31. Envy thou not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways. Stop choosing his ways. Stop following after him. Because the Bible tell you honor your father and mother every day, not just once a year, man. Hey, here you go, Dad. Let's go. What they say? Donuts for dads. Going off, man. This is Acts 5 and verse 29. Then Peter and the other apostles answered and said, we ought to obey God rather than man. So, hey, we're going to obey God. If you don't like the fact that I don't keep Father's Day, And I'm not calling you, hey dad, what's up, man? I'm just calling you to say what's up. You know what I mean? Thank you for, bringing me. Hey, nah, we ain't doing that. Don't expect no phone calls from me because you're not getting one. I don't get down like that, Israel. It is what it is, man. We don't move like that. We don't move like that. We keep God's commandments because I'm going to show you some heavy stuff. I'm about to go deep with y'all for a minute. And it might be a little, it might step on some people's toes. Hey, but it is what it is. You can't get offended in this truth, man. It's just the Bible. Don't get mad at me for reading a book, man, because this is a real topic right here. Topic, man. Let's get Matthew right quick. Jake like to build a story. Matthew 11. So if you feel like your toes about to get stepped on, hey, you better abort mission. Cut off your YouTube feed. Like, damn, I don't know. Where he gonna go with this one? I'm about to go there. This is Matthew 11 and verse 6. It says, and blessed is he whosoever shall not be offended in me. Because guess what? In this truth, man, some things you hear, you be like, ooh, the word cut you sometimes, man. Oh, yeah, we're going to get that too. The word cut you sometimes, man. And it hurts a little. You be like, damn. Like, oh, shoot, I can't believe, was he talking about me? Hey, that's what they say. Was that book for me? Was that for me? Sometimes I get like that. This is Hebrews 4 and 12. It says, for the word of God is quick and powerful and sharper than any two-edged sword, piercing even look at this, piercing even divided asunder of souls and spirits and the joints of marrow, and is a discerner of thoughts and intent of the heart. So it's gonna cut you like, ugh, man, was that for me? Yeah, sometimes you get cut with the word, sometimes it make you feel like, ugh. So the first part we're gonna deal with is the fathers. Yeah, coming for you fathers. We shooting now. You better be prepared. So, Father's Day. The name is called Father, which a lot of men are not. You can have children, but that doesn't make you a father. You get what I'm saying? You could be considered a sperm donor. You could be considered a nigga, as we like to call it. But it does not make you a father. You get what I'm saying? Anybody can have a baby, but it takes a real man to be a father. A dad. You know what I mean? Not a baby daddy. Hey, what's up? I brought you some Pampers. All right, I'll see you later, little dude. What? Are you there? Are you there taking care of your child? Or you let the mama do everything? See, Jake, first and foremost, let me tell you something. It takes a man. I'm going to say that again. It takes a man to be a father. Everybody ain't man. Just because you older don't mean you're a man. Now, what does the Bible say about man? Let's deal with it, Israel. A lot of people, man, what you talking about fathers? Hey, we're going to see then. We're going to see if you qualified for your so-called gift for Father's Day. Because then we're going to show you that you shouldn't even want a gift anyways, because the gift is you doing what you're supposed to do because you have no choice, because you brought a child into this world. That is your obligation to do what you're supposed to do as a parent. The child was like, bring me here. Bring me here. No, you brought that child here. So now you have to take responsibility for that child. It's not the child's fault. The child went like, yeah, I think you should go into her and conceive and have me. The child didn't say that, man. You did it with your own actions. And that's the thing that teased me off. Just a little bit, Israel. Just a little bit. I mean, I'm not saying, just a little bit. It pees me off because child didn't ask to be here. You chose to create a life and abandon it. So-called father, so-called dads, so-called men that want to be celebrated on the third Sunday of June. Real fathers, hey, they just do their job, man, because that's what they're supposed to do, man. We don't want no pats on the back like, hey, good job for being a dad. Hey, that's my job, man. I don't want nobody pat me on the back for doing what I'm supposed to do, man. Real men don't care about all that stuff. Oh, you ain't called dad today for you know for Father's Day. We don't get down like that, man. Real daddies don't give a damn about that, man. Real fathers don't care because you're doing what you have to do always. We keep it 100 today, Israel. This is First Kings. Let's see what a man is. Let's see what the Bible say a man is. First Kings 2 and verse 1. Let's get it. Now the days of David drew nigh that he should die, and he charged Solomon his son, saying, I go the way. What the Bible say? I go the way of all the earth. Be thou strong, therefore, and show thyself a man. Now, this is a father telling his son how to become a man. Let's see if you guys can relate of teaching your sons this or teaching your children this. Let's see. See, I'm dealing with the fathers now. I'm going to deal with the kids later. We're dealing with the so-called fathers now. I see, I say so-called. It says, and keep the charge of the Lord thy God to walk in his ways, to keep his statutes and his commandments and his judgment and his testimonies, as it is written in the law of Moses, that thou mayest prosper in all that thou doest, and whitherso thou turnest thyself. So he said, keep the commandments. That is being a man, keeping the commandments. I mean, y'all tell y'all children that. I mean, y'all are teaching y'all children to keep the commandments, teaching them to walk in the faith. How many? Matter of fact, how many have ever taught their children that? So the problem lies is this. We have never had fathers. You know what I mean? We have never had fathers. We have never had fathers that was righteous to teach us the right way. You know, so the ball been dropped. So we're not faulting the fathers that didn't know. But like I always like to tell people, it didn't come with an instruction manual, but it does have an instruction manual. You see what I'm saying? We did not know that this was the instruction manual. This is our instruction manual for being good fathers, good mothers, good children, good brothers, good sisters, good people. This is our instruction manual. This is the Bible is our instruction manual. And being a man is learning how to keep these commandments. That's how you do it, man. Let's go to where I want to go. Salakia, Israel. This is 2 Timothy 3 and verse 16. It says, all scripture is given by inspiration of God and is profitable for doctrine, for reproof, for corrections, for instructions. This Bible is created for instructions in righteousness, that the man of God may be perfect, truly furnished unto all good works. And to be a father, you have to have all good works. To be a man, you have to have all good works. There's levels to it. Now, a lot of men made babies with what we consider dragons, or I call them Eve. A lot of Eves ain't right. And sometimes Eve like to hold their babies hostage. And you got a lot of dads that want to take care of their kids. We're not talking about you brothers, man. We're not talking about y'all, man. Because we understand the situations. You didn't know that this was your instruction manual. You didn't know nothing about the Apocrypha and going to the book of Sirach. Get your Apocrypha, Israel. Sirach, chapter 6 and verse 7. It says, if thou would get a friend, prove him first, and be not haste to credit him. We would have learned that you prove people first before you lie with them. So if the brother would have proved the woman that he had the baby with, she wouldn't be holding the baby hostage. Because he would say, I can't lie with this woman and make her a mother because she's not going to be right. And you got to not lie with women just to lie with them. That's fornicating, man. And then you have a oops or a mistake, which people call it, which there's no such thing called mistakes out here. Then you in a situation where your child grow up without a father because you chose to lay with this demon. Now, whose fault is that really? Yours. You get what I'm saying? It's levels to it, Israel. It's levels to it. It's levels to it. You got a lot of wicked Eve out here. You got a lot of wicked Jakes, man. That's why you got to prove people, and that's why you need this book. This is what you need, man. We have a lot of men out here. I'm gonna say a lot of older guys. I'm gonna say it like that are not men. Because what does the Bible say about them? What does the Bible liken them as? Let's go to the book. Let's see what the most. Let's see what the most person the person that you're supposed to listen to most. Let's see what he says the man is like. Let's go to the book of Luke chapter 7 and verse 31. And the Lord said, whereunto then shall I liken the men of this generation? And to what are they like? He said, what are these men like? They are like unto children. The Lord said they were like unto children. A lot of you so-called adult men are like children, man. You're not men. You like to think that you're men, but you're not, because you have childish ways, childish behavior. You act like a child. You haven't not grown up to become the man that you're supposed to be. Oh yeah, I told you, man. It might feel a little uncomfortable a little bit, but it is what it is. This is called correction for those men who want to be celebrated on the third Sunday of June, man. That's never been fathers. Told you we're gonna deal with the kids shortly. We're dealing with the so-called dads now, man. That's how we move out here. We'll start at the head, then we're gonna go down. It says, they are like unto children sitting in the marketplace and calling one to another and saying, we have piped unto you and ye have not danced. We have mourned to you and ye have not wept. You say, y'all are kids, man. Y'all are little ass kids. Hey, little ass boys, man. That's what y'all are. Little ass boys, man. Grown little boys. Boys. Boys, man. You're not men. Because a real man take care of his responsibility, like the Bible says, and we're going to get it, man. We are getting all these precepts, man. And it is what it is, man. We don't deal with Father's Day. The Lord is not dealing with Father's Day. The Lord ain't dealing with that crap, man. Because a father is a father every day. Had this Eve to tell me, she said, hey, you a father? I was like, yeah. She said, well, happy early Father's Day. I said, I'm a father every day. I don't need one day out the year to be so-called appreciated and told that happy. Hey, I'm a father. My children ain't asked to be here. I have a responsibility. I have an obligation to make sure I take care of my children. I don't need no stickers, no awards, no celebration, no blooms on something that I chose to do, man. That's folly. That is my job. I get my enjoyment out of my children, man. Every single day I see them. All praise to the Most High. They are me. Whatever I am, that's what they are. Because they emulate me. So I get my enjoyment from that. I don't need other people. Good job, man. You're doing a great job, man. I don't give a damn what nobody. I don't care. I don't care, because the Bible say, praise no man before time. For you are no man and his children. You are no a man and his children, man. Hey, that's what we out here doing what we do, supposed to, and being righteous leaders for our kids, man. That's what we do. The real man, the real Israelite man. This is the book. 1 Corinthians chapter 13 and verse 11. When I was a child, I spake as a child. And a lot of men are children now. They still speak as kids. How their responses are, how they don't know how to control their emotions, how they want to fight, get angry, flare up. Y'all ain't men, man. It says, when I was a child, I spake as a child. I understood as a child. I thought as a child. But when I became a man, I put away childish things. And a lot of you men has not put away childish things. But you want to be celebrated today, right? On so-called Father's Day. And knowing damn well you ain't crap, man. And that's amazing. That's just amazing to me. I sit back and be like, you know something, at my place of business where I work, I'm gonna just keep it 1,000 with you. One time a year, when we start seeing that. Now we have a lot of dads that pull up. You know, our praise is most high for those men being in their children's life. I'm not talking about you brothers, but the daddies that we don't see, one time out the year we only see them. And guess what time that is? Tax time. I wish I was making this thing up, Israel. It's only one time out the year. We see them start saying around March, April. They start coming in, picking them up. Hey, what's going on? He said, what's going on? I ain't seen you in a while. I said, I ain't see you in a while either. But we do have some dads that be there all the time that pick up. And I ain't talking about those dads because those dads are there. I'm talking about the dads that we see one time out of the year. That's when, and you know, Eve, he's a good dad. Special needs, man. Special needs, Israel. And another thing is this: a man wants to be able, he want to call himself a father, a man, or whatever he want to perceive himself as, but he doesn't rule his house. Matter, Jake don't even have a house. You see what I'm saying? Jake ain't doing the things that he's supposed to do, and it angers me when men want to be considered fathers that's not doing what they're supposed to do. This is the book of First Timothy, chapter 3 and verse 5. It says, for if a man know not how to rule his own house, how shall he take care of the church of God? If your kids out here doing all type of wicked folliness under your house, in your house, what kind of father are you? That's the question, man. What kind of father are you? What kind of father are you to allow your children to do wickedness, man, in your house? The father is the head of the house. The father is the head of the house, man. He's the head. So how are you allowing your children to wild the hell out? Let's go to a classic in the book of Sirach, man. This is a classic, man. And this is a mean precept, boy. And a lot of people, man. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 27 and verse 3. Unless a man hold himself diligently, if a man don't hold himself diligently in the fear of the Lord, his house shall soon be overthrown. So the man is the head of the house. If he's not holding himself structured 10 toes down the right way, his whole house gonna be overthrown. Your kids into all type of folly. Your woman is going off. What are you doing as the father, man? What are you doing, fathers? But you want to be considered fathers and you want to be celebrated. The third Sunday of June. I'm on you, fathers, so-called. I'm on y'all, man. I want your son to give you a gift with this little handprint on there. Dad, I made this for you. Oh, man. Man, you know, that's a good one, son. You know, I really, calm down. Calm the hell down, man. Calm down, man. Let's keep going, Israel, you know. Oh, this is another good one, too. Let's go to 1 Timothy chapter 5 and verse 8. A lot of men want to be fathers, but they do not apply this one right here. But if any provide not for his own, we're gonna read this slowly, Israel. But if any provide not for his own, especially for those of his own house, he have denied the faith and is worse than an infidel. How you call yourself a father and you not out here being a father? I'm gonna say that again. How you call yourself a father, but you ain't out here doing nothing like a father? Y'all better have some steel-toe boots on today, man. Because I'm stepping all over y'all damn toes, man. The word is stepping over your toes, man. Stepping all on them. You want, well, you don't the Bible say honor your father and honor your mother. You have to be a father first, man. The Bible just said, but if any provide not for his own, especially for those of his own household, he, not she, he, because the man is the what? The head. He, not she, he. Got Eve out here working 17 jobs, trying to keep a roof over her child's head. And you ain't doing nothing. But for you Eves out here, I'm going to tell you something about y'all too. I'm going to keep it 1,000, Eve. I'm going to be 100 with you. For you Eves out here, working all these damn hours, and then when Jake come back and want to be a father for a moment, you let this Negro back in your life, knowing he's only using you to abuse you again and 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 again. We gotta keep saying it because that's what y'all do. Y'all open your arms and legs back up for this guy that's not helping you to raise your child. Not. He ain't never been there. Never been there. Never. But then, come back because he need a place to stay for a minute. You let him back in. He ain't got a job. Feet up on a damn seat, on the table, on the couch, relaxing, lounging, chilling out, doing the best that and you over there working 70. Got the how it was with that movie, Baby Boy. Baby Boy syndrome. And that's a lot of you Eves out here, man. Some Eves don't go back to the same Jake. All praise to the Most High. Find a righteous man. Jake ain't gonna be there. He's denied the faith, and it's worse than the infidel. And you got other brothers out there that will step up, man. Other brothers out there will step up, man. We're gonna read some scriptures show you that, man. We're gonna show you that because sometimes, you get into a situation, Jake disappeared. You have another Jake step up to the plate, and he raised that child. That's some heavy stuff, man. That right there is some heavy, and I got a Bible verse for it too. We're gonna show you what the Bible say. And we're gonna read this precept again. But if any provide not for his own, see, it's like it's talking about the man. A man don't provide for his own seed, his own family, his own people. If he ain't providing for his children, you see how I say, or especially for those of his own house, he have denied the faith and is worse than an infidel. He's worse than an unbeliever, man. Worse than an unbeliever. You can't make this up, man. You can't make this up, man. You see that? It's heavy, man. I mean, this is heavy. A lot of men ain't out here doing that, man. A lot of men ain't doing things the right way, man. They laying with Eve. They getting Eve pregnant. Now you realize she's not the one that you wanted, and now you have to live a life where you got to raise your child. Because let's say you in the faith. You come into the faith, but she's not. You teaching your child the truth, but then she's still in the world celebrating all type of wicked days, man. You got a lot going on, man, because you didn't prove her first. That's why it's heavy for men. Men, it's heavy for you out here, man. It's heavy for you, man. You better do things the right way, man, because then your child will be unclean. And you don't want your child unclean, man. You over here telling your child, hey, we keep the Sabbath day holy. And when he with you, he don't, break the commandments. But then he go back with his wicked ass mama. She out there celebrate birthdays. She out there buying on the Sabbath. But your son like, Mom, we can't do this. Boy, shut up. Your dad don't know what he talking about. You see what I'm saying? But that's what the man calls for not being the man. They always gonna fall back on you, Jake, for you not doing what you're supposed to do. Can't expect the woman to do everything. She don't know. She don't know. You got to do it because that's what the man does. The man is the head, man. The man is the head. The man is the head. Are you the head? Because you got a lot of Jakes out here too that live with the woman, But the woman's still the head. Oh yeah, a lot of that go on too. You weak and sissified. You let your woman control you. That's not how it works, man. Let's go to 1 Corinthians 11 and verse 3. But I will have you to know that the head of every man is Christ, and the head of the woman, is the man, and the head of Christ is God. It's order. It's order. It's order. It's order and instructions. But a lot of you men are not men because you do not know what to do as men. But it's not your fault. You just wasn't taught. So I'm not upset with you, man, but I want you guys to repent, try your best to offend less, and keep these commandments like you're supposed to. Okay? We can do that. All right. Now let's get to these kids now. So I had to dig on the so-called dads first. I had to pull up on you. Now we're gonna deal with the kids. Because first, a lot of we're gonna get some examples too. So we're gonna do some things, and we're gonna get some examples. So these kids nowadays, they talking about, I want to honor my father. They ain't never honor their parents, but only once a year when a so-called white man tell them to, they do it. They love master more than they love God. This is Colossians, like we always get, 2 and 8. Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophies and vain deceit, after the traditions of men, after the rudiments of the world, and not after Christ. And this is not after Christ, because Christ told you to honor your father and mother every single day. But do you? No, you don't. You don't. And it's not your fault, man. It's not your fault. It's just that you wasn't taught. And since you wasn't taught, you don't know what's going on. Let's go to the book of Exodus, chapter 20, and get the law, Israel. We got to get the law. It's always right here, man. This is Exodus 20 and verse 12. Exodus 20 and verse 12. Honor thy father and thy mother. What the Bible say? Honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be prolonged upon the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee. So the Bible tells you to honor your father and your mother every single day, not just once a year. And that's what y'all people be doing, man. Y'all love y'all parents once a year. This is the book of Ephesians, chapter 6 and verse 1. It says, children, obey your parents. Children, obey your parents. That's honoring your father and mother. In the Lord. In the Lord. Now, if your parents wicked as hell, man, hey, still reverence your parents, but don't. They tell you to go off, hey, no, it's in the Lord. Hey, ma, I can't do that. I'm your mother. Ma, I can't buy on the Sabbath. And I damn sure ain't buying you no ham on the Sabbath. So you don't love, no, I don't love you like that, ma. Because if I did, I do love you, ma. That's why I'm not getting it. Because if I didn't, I didn't say, hey, you don't love me. Yeah, I do love you, ma. That's why I didn't get it for you. Because if I didn't love you, I would have got it. Because I wouldn't care. I would have broke the Sabbath and I would have you going off by doing something that you weren't supposed to do. So no. Children, obey your parents in the Lord, for this is right. Honor thy father and thy mother, which is the first commandment with promise, that it may be well with thee, and thou mayst live long on the earth. On the earth, man. Don't you want to live long on the earth? And it says, and ye fathers, back to you fathers, provoke not your children to wrath, but bring them up in the nature and admonishment of the Lord. Bring them up fearing God. And a lot of our fathers have not done that because they have not known their self how to fear the Lord. But is it their fault, man? Is it their fault? No, like we like to say, they did not know. They were led astray as well. So you got to honor your father and mother all the time, Israel. Let's get the book of Sirach. Let's get some honor your mother and father. A lot of people think you're supposed to honor them by whatever the world say you got to do, but they don't know what's going on. Sirach chapter 3, and we're going to start at verse 1. It says, hear me, your father, O children, and do thereafter that ye may be safe. So listen to your father so you can be safe. I'm not going to lead you in the wrong direction. For the Lord hath given the father honor over the children and have confirmed the authority of the mother over the sons. The father hath gave the mother authority over the children. It says, whoso honoreth his father, make an atonement for his sins. What? Make an atonement. A sacrifice for your sins, man. Hey, some of your sins be gone away, man. But a lot of people don't understand that, man. They don't understand that. You honor your father, you make an atonement. Atonement for your sins. That's heavy. It says, and he that honoreth his mother is as one that lay up treasure. So if you honor your mother, you lay up treasure. It says, whoso honor his father shall have joy of his own children. And when he maketh his prayers, he shall be heard. If you honor your father, you're going to have joy of your children. So now this is the question to ask yourself. This is the question to ask yourself, fathers. Do you have joy of your children? Are you enjoying your children? Are you? You know something? I'm going to let you think about that for a second. Hey, no, you're not. Some of you fathers don't even know your sons or your daughters. And some of you fathers are going through hell with your kids. Maybe you didn't honor your father the right way. We're going to read that verse again. You see how I gave you a chance to think that thing through? It says, whoso honor his father shall have joy of his own children. And when he maketh his prayers, he shall be heard. And when you make your prayers, he's going to hear you. It says, he that honor his father shall have a long life. And he that is obedient unto the Lord shall be a comfort to his mother. And that's one thing you got to understand. Don't you want to comfort your mother? Don't you like that? Don't you want to have a long life as well? That's some heavy stuff, Israel. This topic is a heavy topic. A lot of people want to be celebrated on the third Sunday of June. And a lot of people want to celebrate parents that they don't even know what they're celebrating for. You're supposed to honor your father and mother every day, children. It says, he that feared the Lord will honor his father. So if you fear the Lord, you're going to honor your father and do that all the time. And will do service unto his parents as to his master. As you serve and obey Yahweh by Shem Yahushua, you same thing you're gonna do to your parents. And your parents ain't gonna, if your parents are right people, let's say this, I'm gonna use an example. If your parents weren't in the truth, but you was in the truth, but they see you moving different in the spirit of the Lord, they would understand, they'll follow suit, man. They'll follow suit, man. That's a beautiful thing. Because they know their children. They're like, hold on a second. My child is really different, man. They serving the Lord the right way. And they wouldn't be upset about that. A real good parent would not condemn their children for following the Lord. Oh, you in this coat. That's a coat you in because you keeping God's commandments. Yeah, they all do that. They always keep the new moons and the Sabbaths, and they celebrate the Passover. I mean, they treat everybody nicely. They try to love their neighbor as Christ loved them. They keeping the commandments like God say, but they still a coat. It's still a coat. That's crazy, man. If any parent said that you saw that you changed your life, you ain't out here being rude. You ain't out here robbing people. You ain't out here killing people. You ain't out here talking crap about people. You ain't out here doing fun. You ain't out here pimping these girls. You ain't out here being a harlot to all these men. You out here doing the things the right way. And if your parents see that's something wrong, they need to examine themselves. Don't you change. You let them figure it out. Verse 8, honor thy father and mother, both in word and deed, that a blessing may come upon thee from them. So you both honor your mother and father in word and deed. Actions and words, man. You do it. You got to. Actions speak louder than words, man. You got to make sure that you tell you're going to do it. You better do it. It says, for the blessing of the father established the house of children. Like how Jacob did with, it's like how Isaac did with Jacob and Esau. Even all the fathers, man. It says, For the blessing of the father established the house of children, but the curse of the mother rooteth out foundation. Glory not in the dishonor of thy father, for the father dishonor is no glory unto thee. Never glory in dishonoring your father. Now I'm gonna give you an example. Let's say Jake had a so-called biological father that was never in their life. Don't you dishonor that person per se because they was not there. Like, man, screw you. You were never there anyway, bruh. You ain't my dad. Hey, all praise to the Most High God for him using that guy to get you here. You move different out here, man. You don't be like, man, screw that nigga, man. I ain't got nothing for him, man. Screw that mother. We don't move like that, man. Be at peace with many. You see what I'm saying? You can't move like that. Let your light shine, Israel. It says, for the glory of a man is from the honor of his father, and a mother is dishonor and a reproach to the children. My son, help thy father in his age, and grieve him not as long as he live. So when your father start getting old, help him out. This is how you really honor your parents, man. A lot of people put their parents in so-called nursing homes. People that raised you your whole life. You put them in a nursing home? Well, you see if you really honor your father and mother. It says, verse 13, and if his understanding fail, have patience with him, and despise him not when thou art in full strength. So don't despise him, man. He might be slipping a little, but be there for your pops, man. For the reveling of thy father shall not be forgotten, and instead of sin, it shall be added to build thee up. So the Lord is going to remember that, man. The Lord is going to remember you for doing what you got to do for your father, man. And it's not saying the people that's not been there, you know what I'm saying? It's levels to father, like the man that was there teaching his children, guiding his children. Like me, I'm using me as an example because I'm with my children always, every day. If my children turn their back on me, it's smoke forever. Oh, yeah, smoke forever. How you gonna dishonor your father that's been there since before you was even? Hey, I was there, man. I'm using me as an example because I know me and I know my household. I can't speak on everybody else's house, but I can speak on mine. We're gonna read that part again, man. It says, that's crazy. For the Salaki, for the so where I'm at, verse 14. Okay, that's where I'm at. Or did I read 14? Salaki, verse 14. For the that's where I'm at, right? I read 13. And if his understanding fail him, have patience with him and despise him not when thou art in full strength. So when you're in full strength, don't you despise your father because he's not in his full strength. You get what I'm saying? So like his strength has failed because he got older. But you in your full strength, don't despise him. Like if I happen to get older, old man, don't let my children like, come on, dad, dang, man. That will break my heart. Because I was there for y'all. Why would you do that to your dad? Especially if you're teaching them, thus says the Lord, in young age. Verse 14, for the reviling of thy father shall not be forgotten, and instead of sin, it shall be added to build thee up. So the relieving of your father, you relieved him. You helped him. It's not going to be forgotten. The Lord is going to be with you. Hey, you helping them out. All praises, you keeping the commandments. In the day of thy affliction, it shall be remembered. So when you're going through hell, it's going to be remembered. Thy sins also shall melt away as the ice in the fair warm weather. He that forsake his father is a blasphemer. So if you forsake your father, like I use me as an example, because I know me and I know my household. If my children forsake me as a father has been there, trying my best to teach them according to the commandments, according to the ways of the world, not to follow the ways of the world, but follow the ways of the Lord, and they forsake me, they're a blasphemer. The Bible says, he that forsake his father is a blasphemer, and he that angereth his mother is cursed of God. My son, go on with thy business and meekness, and so shall thou be loved of him that is approved. So these are ways that you honor your father and mother. For those who say, well, I honor my father and mother, I'm there for them, but you're not doing the things that you're supposed to do. It don't make sense. It don't make sense. We're going to go to Sirach chapter 4, and we're going to start at verse 10. It says, now this is for the fathers. I'm going to give you an example. This is for the fathers that's out there that met an Eve that had children. There's levels to that. If you marry a woman that has children already, that's a big responsibility, man. Because those children are what you consider fatherless. And you have to be a father to the fatherless. Trust me, I know. So we're going to read this Bible verse. Sirach 4 and 10. Be as a father unto the fatherless, and instead of a husband unto their mother. So if you marry a woman, you got to be more of a father to the fatherless instead of a husband to the mother. It says, so shalt thou be as the son of the Most High, and he shall love thee more than thy mother doeth. You see that the Bible say, if you love that child that had no father more than you was a husband to that woman, the Lord is going to love you as a son and love you more than your mother would. A lot of men don't know that part. They want to play stepdaddy, but don't know how to be. You know what I mean? You better know what you're getting yourself to, because God will destroy you for that, man. God will destroy you for that. Better know the role you playing. Know the role you playing. You ain't got no choice. Let's get some more precepts. Let's go to Proverbs. Let's see a couple more precepts for the so-called children that want to honor their father and mother. Let's go to Proverbs 1 and verse 8. My son, hear the instructions of thy father and forsake not the law of thy mother. Always listen to your parents. If you want to hearken to if you want to so-called honor your father and mother and celebrate the so-called third Sunday of June, you better always be listening to your father. You're supposed to do that regardless. You're supposed to honor your father throughout the year, man, instead of on the third Sunday of June. I hate it, boy. It grinds my gears when I think about this stuff, man. Proverbs 3 and 12. For whom the Lord loveth, he correcteth, even as a father the sons in whom he delighteth. So just like how the Lord chasten us, so should a father chasten his children, because he loves his children. If you love your children, you're going to correct them. And your children must understand that. We're going to do a topic on these dang on kids out here nowadays, man. We got to, because they are not growing up in the fear of the Lord, man. But we're going to do a topic on these children, man. We have to. We have to. It's only necessary, Israel. It's only necessary. Let's go to Proverbs 10 and 1. We're going to stay in Proverbs for a second. It says, the Proverbs of Solomon, a wise son maketh a glad father. A wise son maketh that's how you honor your father if you really want to do it. This is how you celebrate, make your father feel happy. Cards and donuts don't make us feel happy. Not stressing our kids make us feel happy. Don't you know that? I'm gonna give you a real father stress over his children. You lose sleep. Being a father, it don't stop when they get older. It only gets worse. Now, if you train up your child the right in ways which they should go when they're older, they should not depart. You should be okay with it. Thumbs up. But you still understand they're in this world, man. So when you're a father, you have stress like you never had before, man. I see so much gray growing in my beard, in my hair. Man, I have, children, man. And I know this world that we live in is God forsaken. They don't love God out here, man. And I have to explain certain things to my children in this wicked ass society, man. It's scary, man. Evil communication corrupt good manner, man. I pray to God that doesn't happen with my children. That's why I'm on them. That's why we read the scriptures. That's why we pray together. Lord, we even fast together, man. So it's scary out here. And I'm going to get that precept to show you that too, man. Proverbs 10 and 1 again. The Proverbs of Solomon, a wise son maketh a glad father, but a foolish son is the heaviness of his mother. Mother always stressed out, man. Mother always on her knees every night in the middle of the hour, midnight hour, praying that God turn your life around. It's scary out here, man. Trust me. Proverbs 13 and verse 1. A wise son hears his father's instruction, but a scorner heareth not rebuke. So a wise son gonna hear, like, hey, I'm gonna be 100 with you, man. My dad, he makes me laugh a lot, man. He makes me laugh a lot. Now, he didn't have the instructions. He always say, I tried the best I could try. And he did a great job, man. I ain't got no smoke with him. I learned that. I know as an adult now, like, hey, he ain't had the instruction book, but he tried as best as he could. Just like as my mother. She wasn't in the truth, but she tried to rear us up in the Most High God and fearing, the Most High and believing His Son. So she had she brought us with the foundation. Granted, we didn't have all the tools, but she gave us a foundation. Like, hey, we serve the Most High God, and we keep the faith in His Son. She always instilled that in us. And my dad always tried his hardest to give us life lessons on things that we should do that he didn't do, but he learned from his mistakes. So, hey, I give credit to them. All praise to the Most High God. And that's one thing about it. A wise son heareth his father's instructions, but a scorner hear not the rebuke. Like when my dad tell me, like, son, what I did, you don't do. And he said, just like, hey, and I see, and I won't do it, Dad. I ain't doing it. I seen the mistakes. Hey, I'm like a touch a stove, it burn your head. I ain't doing it again. You gotta my siblings different. They gotta test the waters. I was always like, I ain't going over there. I understand. That's what a wise son does. He hears the instructions of father. This is how you honor your father and mother, Israel. We can say it in Proverbs. I told you, I'm just giving you examples. I'm dealing with the children. Proverbs 15 and verse 5. It says, a fool despises his father's instructions, but he that regardeth reproof is prudent. See, a fool. I don't want to be considered a fool. I want to be considered wise. A fool would not listen to his father. Why I tell you anything that's going to steer you wrong, son? That's what he always say. Now, granted, did he know everything? No, but he learned from his mistakes, that the mistakes he didn't want us to make. Understood. Let's jump down to verse 20. It says, a wise son maketh a glad father, but a foolish man despises his mother. You see that? That's heavy, man. These are ways that you honor your father and mother on the daily. Not just on the third Sunday of June. So-called dang on. I told you we're going to deal with Proverbs, man. Proverbs got all the gems for you, man. These is what you need, man. This Proverbs 17 and verse 6. Children, look at this part. Children's children are the crown of old men, and the glory of children are their father. So having great grandchildren as a father, saying, damn, look at my son. He got sons, and his son got sons. And I'm here to see it because it all started with me. That's some good stuff, man. A lot of people don't get to see that, man. A lot of people wasn't there to see that. And then now, they want to try to do things to, hey, what they say, ease their way back in. But hey, sometimes it don't work like that, man. But hey, it is what it is. This is verse 21. Look at this. He that begetteth a fool do it to his sorrows, and the father of a fool have no joy. So if you bring in your parents no joy, you're not honoring them. You could give them flowers, cups, mugs, saying best dad on it. But if you ain't doing what you're supposed to do to make him feel like the best dad, what's the point of doing it? What's the point of doing it, Israel? Verse 25, we jump in. It says, a foolish son is a grief to his father and bitterness to her that bared him. Do you want to be bitterness to your mother that bared you? Do you? A lot of people are, man. This is Proverbs 20 and 20. It says, look at this, y'all. Whoso curseth his father or his mother, his lamp shall be put out in obscure darkness. If you curse your father and mother, your lamp is going to be put out. Your lamp is going to be put out. I'm going to show you what the Messiah said. This is Matthew 15 and verse 4. For God, this is the Messiah, Jesus the Christ, for God commanded, saying, honor thy father and mother, and he that curseth father and mother, let him die the death. That's Jesus Christ. So you don't even know Jesus like you say you know. Sweet Jesus said that. No, woolly head, black beard Jesus said that. Y'all don't know, man. Y'all think y'all know, but y'all don't know, man. I'm gonna get one more in Proverbs. Should I get one more in Proverbs? Nah, I gotta get a couple more in Proverbs because these ones in Proverbs are some gems, man. These some gems. This is Proverbs 23 and 22. It says, hearken unto thy father that begot thee, and despise not thy mother when she is old. Don't despise your mother when she's old. And hearken to your father. You gotta listen to him. A lot of Jake do this that they shouldn't do. Proverbs 28 and verse 24. It said, whoso robbeth his father or his mother and saith, it is not no transgression, the same is a companion of a destroyer. If you are here robbing from your parents, you ain't, excuse my French, shit. Shame, 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 shame. Proverbs 30 and 17. The eye that mocketh at his father and despise to obey his mother, the ravens of the valley shall pick it out, and the young eagle shall eat it. So if you mock and despise your mother and father, that's righteous. The ravens are gonna eat you alive, man. Or eat over your dead body when it's destroyed and no one bury you. There's some heavy stuff out here, Israel. It's heavy, man. It's heavy. It's heavy. Because a father job is heavy. I'm jumping back to the father for a second. Because you have no idea what fathers have to go through, man. Fathers go through so much, man. We lose sleep, like I was saying, because we out here thinking of our children every single day. I'm gonna say that again. Thinking of our children every single day. This is let me go to Sirach 42. That's the one I want. Yep. 42 and verse 9. The father waketh for the daughter when no man knoweth. So a father is always going to keep out of his daughter because that's his daughter, man. Something about daughters, man. And if you're a father with multiple daughters, it's heavy, Israel. I'll praise the Most High God. You know, I got my one daughter. I got my sons. But that one daughter, though, man, it's my heart. You know what I mean? So when you hear stuff like this, it gets you, man. It says, the father waketh for the daughter when no man knoweth, and the care for her take away sleep. You lose sleep, man. If you're a real father, agree with me. When you wake up in the middle of the night, you know, going to the restroom, do you go check on all your children? Boy, I'm telling you. Go in the first room, like, okay, all praises Most High. Second room, go check the bunk beds, like, all praises. Drop down on your knees before you get back in the bed, throw them prayers up, and go to bed, man. I mean, you check on your wife too, like, is she good? All right, all praises. So that's some beautiful stuff, man. It take away sleep, man. It says, when she is young, lest she pass away the flower of her age, and being married, lest she should be hated. So don't let your daughter go basically live in your house having a baby and not married. You know, some heavy stuff. In her virginity, lest she should be defiled and gotten with a child in her father's house, and having a husband, lest she should be misbehave herself. And when she is married, lest she should be barren. Keep a sure watch over a shameless daughter. You got to always have your eyes out, especially shameless daughters. Lest she make thee a laughing stock to thy enemies, and a byword in the city, and a reproach among the people, making thee ashamed before the multitude. Behold not everybody's beauty, and sit not in the midst of women. So always watch after your daughter, man. And it loses sleep as a man if you have daughters. That's what real fathers do. You don't want your daughters out here. Hey, this is how you understand this. If you promote your daughter out here shaking her ass and she out here shaking her ass with her mama, you going off as a father, man. No father should want their daughter out there twerking. If you see, hold on, first, let's think about it, Israel. In this world that we live in, that's all that's promoted. All these ass shaking females, man. On Instagram, on YouTube, man. Now they got their own little website. Freaking off, man. Facebook, all that stuff, man. Where the daddies at? Of these little girls? Of these young girls? That's heavy, Israel. Scary too. Heavy and scary. Heavy and scary. Train up a child in which way they should go. This, you got to. I'm gonna read this. This is what a real father wants as well. This is Sirach chapter 30 and verse 1. He that love his son calls him often to feel the rod, that he may have joy of him at the end. So if you love your children, you're gonna cut their ass like you're supposed to, so you can have joy of them at the end. It says, he that chasten his son shall have joy in him, and shall rejoice of him among his acquaintance. He that teach his son grieveth the enemy, and before his friends he shall rejoice of him. So if you teach your son, you're gonna grieve the enemy. Like, damn, why does this young boy know everything? I know it made them teachers mad at my son's school when they saw him coming in with his Frenches, and they asked what Esau for. He said, hey, remember to keep God's commandments and doing. They said, well, name me all 10. My son named them all in order. He said, matter of fact, it's more than 10. It's actually 613. But you know, those 10 only people know. They like looking all crazy and stuff. Like, what the heck? What Bible verse is that say you gotta wear fringes? But son put out the precepts. Numbers 15:38. Started 37 to get the understanding who he talking to. At 8 years old, man. And they looking like, what the hell? And then when they see me, hey, how you doing today? I'm doing good. I was talking to your son about the fringes. What did he say? Numbers 15 and 38. 37 to get to understand who he's talking to. I said, all praise to the Most High. So, hey, you grieve the enemy. Verse 4. Though his father die, yet he is as though he were not dead, for he had left one behind him that is like himself. So, hey, the best thing about it is when you have your sons, you leaving yourself behind. That's why I still me and my children, man. My kids are just like me. I'm telling you, man, you can't make this thing up. My wife, they act just like you, like they supposed to. I'm their daddy. And I'm always around them. Even my little one, my 2-year-old, loud, just like me. My 6-year-old, they just like me. All praises to the Most High God, man. That's how we do it. That's what real fathers do. That's what you get your enjoyment out of. That's what you get. That makes you happy. Not them saying, hey, Dad, I got your donut today. Dad, let's go get some coffee. It's free because it's so-called Father's Day. It's the so-called third Sunday of June. Get a few more precepts, Israel. You know, I said I make quick, but hey, this is a tough topic, man. We got to deal with it. If you honor your father, if you want to celebrate Father's Day, do it every day. Honor your father every day like you're supposed to, like the Bible says. Let's get a couple of examples of some righteous fathers. Let's go to the book of Genesis. You know, we got to start off with who? Ah, man, Abraham. It said, this is on Genesis 18, chapter 18 and verse 18. It says, start at 17. We read this. And the Lord said, shall I hide from Abraham that thing which I do? He said, should I hide from Abraham that I'm going to destroy Sodom and Gomorrah? Seeing that Abraham shall surely become a great and mighty nation, and all these nations of the earth shall be blessed in him. For I know him, that he will command his children and his household after him, and they shall keep the way of the Lord to do justice and judgment, that the Lord may bring upon Abraham that which he has spoken of him. So he said, I know Abraham. Abraham's going to do everything that he's supposed to do in commanding his house. He's going to take care of his children. He's going to train them up in a way which they should go. It's beautiful, man. You see how powerful that is? That's what the Lord said about Abraham. Let's get another precept on Abraham being that guy. Let's go to Sirach 44. Sirach 44 and 19. Abraham was a great father. See that? Abraham was a great father of many people, and glory was there none like unto him, who kept the law of the Most High and was in covenant with him. He established the covenant in his flesh, and and when he was proved, he was found faithful. You see that? That's some powerful stuff, Israel. Powerful. That's Abraham. That's our guy, Abraham, man. The reason why we have the covenant now. Because the Lord said, I'm going to make a promise with Abraham, man. My friend. Some beautiful stuff. Let's get another dad. Let's go to the book of Tobit. Israel, you got to read Tobit. A wonderful book. And he gave his son some mighty instructions as well. This is Tobit chapter 4. And we're going to start at verse 3. This is Tobit talking to Tobias, his son. And listen what he told his son. And when he called him, he said, my son, when I'm dead, bury me and despise not thy mother, but honor her all the days of thy life, and do that which shall please her, and grieve her not. This is the first thing he said. When I'm dead, son, take care of your mother. And despise her not. This is what a father say. Now I ain't gonna lie. I'm not in the truth. We wasn't in the truth. But my dad did always say, always take care of your mother, son. I might not be there with y'all always take care of your mother. I ain't gonna lie, he said that. So I got it. Hey, all right, Dad, I see. You know, you was trying, didn't even know it was in the Bible, but you always said that. You and your brother take care of your mother. That's what y'all do. Y'all take care of your mother. All praise to the Most High. It says, remember, my son, that she saw many dangers for thee when thou was in her womb. And when she is dead, bury her by me in one grave. Instructions of a father. How many of you fathers gave instructions like this? It says, my son, be mindful of the Lord, our God, all the days, all thy days. He said, be mindful. You got to be mindful of the Lord, man. And let not thy will be set to sin. He said, don't sin. Don't let your will be to sin, or to transgress his commandments. Do uprightly all thy life long, and follow not the way of unrighteousness. That's a father for you. This is a father. For if thou deal truly, thy doing shall prosperly succeed to thee, and to all them that lives justly. You see that? He's saying, if you live good, hey, it's going to come back to you. Give alms of thy substance, and when thou givest alms, let not thy eye be envious, neither turn thy face from any poor, and the face of God shall not be turned away from thee. He say, look out for your people, especially though. Now it tells you, now you go deep in it. It tells you the people who you look out for. It says, if thou hast abundance, give alms accordingly. If thou hast but little, be not afraid to give according to that little. It says, for thou layest up a good treasure for thyself against the day of necessity, because that alms do deliver from death, and suffer not to come into darkness. For alms is a good gift unto all that give it in the sight of the Most High. He teaching his son. This is something this is levels, man. Remember, things that are written aforetime, print for I learn through patience and comfort of scriptures, that we might have hope. So look, this is the instruction manual. It says, this is another one. You got a lot of fathers that don't tell their children this. A lot of fathers try to promote this on their sons to have multiple women. Yeah, boy, you got that girl. That's what I'm talking about. I ain't teaching my son that. I'm teaching my son, hey, these women out here, you young anyways, don't worry about that. But hey, when you meet that one, you got to make sure she's the one, because you do not want to break this woman's heart. We're not creating whores of the daughters of Israel. Not us. Not in this house. Verse 12. Be Where of all whoredom, my son, and chiefly take a wife of thy seed of thy fathers, and take not a strange woman to wife, which is not of thy father's tribe. So don't take no strange woman. You marry women of your tribe. For we are the children of the prophets, Noah, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Remember, my sons, that our fathers from the beginning, even they all married wives of their own kindred, and we and we and were blessed in their children, and their seed shall inherit the land. So you see how heavy this is, man. He telling his son, "Hey, this is what you do. No hoes, don't. Don't be freaking off out here, son. You meet a right woman, and you make sure you prove it the right way, teaching the commandments, man. What a father's supposed to do. Now, therefore, my son, love thy brother, and I teach you how to love your neighbor, and despise not in thy heart the brethren, the sons of, and daughters of thy people, and not taking a wife of them. For in pride is destruction, and much trouble, and lewdness is decay, and great want. For lewdness is the mother of famine." You see that? This is what the father is teaching his son. It goes on, Israel. It says, "Let not the wage of any man," teach you how to deal with your men, deal with people. If you got own a business, this is how you deal with people. "Let not the wage of any man which have wrought for thee tarry with thee, but give him it out of hand. For if thou serve God, he will also repay thee. Be circumspect, my son, in all things thou doest, and be wise in all thy conversations." Keep yourself wise in every conversation. Be mindful of the things that's coming out your mouth. This is what a father, this is examples of a good father, man. "Do that to no man which thou hate." Look at this part. "Do that to no man which thou hatest. Drink not wine to make thee drunken, neither let drunkenness go with thee in thy journey. Give of thy bread to the hungry, and of thy garment to them that are naked. And according to thy abundance give alms, and let not thy eyes be envious when thou givest alms. Pour out thy bread on the burial of the just, but give nothing to the wicked." You see that? It says give nothing to the wicked. So who you get? Hey, you give to the just, man. Once is keeping the commandments. "As counsel of all that are wise, and despise not any counsel that is profitable." Teach you counsel, man. "Bless the Lord thy God always, and desire of him that thy way may be directed, and that all thy paths and counsel may prosper. For every nation have not counsel, but the Lord himself give all good things, and humbleth whom he will. And as he will now, therefore, my son, remember my commandments, neither let them be put out of thy mind." So remember your father's commandments. Like we read first thing in Proverbs 1 and 8. Remember your father's commandments. "And now I signify this to thee, that I commit 10 talents to Gabriel, the son of Gabaris, at rags and media. And fear not, my son, that we are made poor, for thou hast much wealth if thou fear God, and depart from all sin, and do that which is pleasing in his sight." That's what a father teaches his son. That's just a blueprint, man. That's a blueprint, Israel. A blueprint of what you teach your child. Tell me that ain't beautiful. That was beautiful, man. Let me give you one more. I'll give you one more, Israel. We'll get one more. This is we'll go to Maccabees, first Maccabees, and we'll start at I might jump. This is first Maccabees 2 and verse 1. I'm gonna jump a little bit, Israel. It said, "In those days arose Mattathias, the son of John, the son of Simon, a priest of the sons of Jerob from Jerusalem, and dwelt in Modin. And he had 5 sons: Jonathan called Cadius, Simon called Thasa, Judas who was called Maccabeus, Eleazar called Aaron, and Jonathan whose surname was Apos." And look at this. "And when he saw the blasphemy that were committed in Judah and Jerusalem, he said, Woe is me, wherefore was I born to see the misery of my people and of the holy city, and to dwell there when it was delivered into the hand of the enemy. and the sanctuary into the hands of strangers. So he is upset for seeing the desolation of our city. This is a righteous man who has hated wickedness. Who hated wickedness. Okay? And I'm gonna show you something. We're just jumping. You can read chapter 2 on your own. But we're gonna jump around. So he saw the sadness of his city. He saw everything turn, and it just made him sad. So we're gonna jump and we're gonna get to what part I want. Verse 14. After he saw the city being destroyed and strangers running it. Verse 14. Then Mattathias and his sons rent their clothes and put on sackcloth and mourned very sore. So now they're fasting for the because they see the destruction of their city. How many of y'all are fasting and praying with your sons? Okay. I'm gonna read. Let's read 17 now. This is beautiful. Now, this is a person that's trying to get Mattathias to go off in front of his people. Mattathias said, I ain't doing none of that because we're gonna keep God's commandments. So, like I said, read chapter 2 on your own. It's very beautiful. It says, this is second verse Maccabees chapter 2 and verse 17. Then answered the king officer and said to Mattathias on this wise, thou art a ruler and an honorable and great man in this city. He's a great man in this city and strengthened with sons and brethren. So you got a lot of sons. So you strengthened. This your strength, your children and your brothers. Now, therefore, come thou first and fulfill the king's commandment, like as all the heathen have done, ye and the men of Judah also, and such as remaineth at Jerusalem. So shalt thou and thy house be in the number of the king's friends, and thou and thy children shall be honored with silver and gold and many rewards. So this is the king's office saying, hey, come on, man, you're a mighty man of the city. Come over here and sacrifice to the king, and you'll be considered a king, a friend of the king, and I'm gonna give you gold and silver and everything. A lot of you Negroes out there, not you watching, but a lot of you Negroes out there would, hey, like y'all would sell your soul. They tried to get him to sell his soul, man. He kept his integrity. Verse 19, then Mattathias answered and spake with a loud voice, though all the nations that are under the king's dominion obey him and follow away everyone from the religion of their fathers and give consent to his commandments, yet will I and my sons and my brethren walk in the, look at this verse, look at this. I'm going to read verse 20 again. Yet will I and my sons and my brethren walk in the covenant of our fathers. God forbid that we should forsake the law and the ordinance. We will not hearken to the king's words to go from our religion, either on the right hand or the left hand. So he said, we ain't never turn away from these laws, statutes, commandments. We're going to keep the commandments. Beautiful, right? You see that? That's a righteous man being an example to his children. A lot of you brothers are examples, but in the wrong ways. You selling drugs in front of your kids. You smoking in front of your kids. You sleeping with many women in front of your kids. Going off. This was a righteous example of a real father. Now let's jump to verse 50. Now this is I'll start at verse 49. Now this is the same instructions he gave his sons before he was about to die. Now when the time drew near that Mattathias should die, he said unto his sons, now have pride and rebuke gotten strength and the time of destruction and the wrath of indignation. Now, therefore, my sons, be ye zealous for the law and give your lives for the covenant of your fathers. He said, you'll be able to give your life up for this thing, man. And guess what? You know what's so funny about this, man? I told my son the day I was like, what'd you get me for Valentine's Day? And we did a topic on that too, destroying that. I told my son, what you did for, what you get me for Father's Day? He said, nothing. I said, why not? He said, we don't do that. I like to test my kids. And my other son said, Dad, we don't celebrate that. I said, hey, man, y'all gonna make daddy sad. And they said, this is what my son told me. I'm not lying. He said, if you sad and you want us to do it, you might as well find another house to go to. They kicking me out of my own house. Amazing, because I say to them, I say, hey, if you're gonna keep the ways of the world, you get out of my house. And they hit me with the same thing. So that's how you do it. You be an example to your children in righteousness. We ain't keeping them pagan days. All praise to Yahweh by Shem Yahushua, man. It says, now therefore, verse 50 again, now therefore, my sons, be ye zealous for the law, and give your lives for the covenant of your fathers. Call to remembrance what acts our fathers did in the time. So shall ye receive great honor and an everlasting name. Was not Abraham found faithful in the time of temptation? And it was imputed unto him for righteousness. See, Abraham again. Joseph, in the time of his distress, kept the commandments and was made Lord over Egypt. Phineas, our father, in being zealous and fervent, obtained the covenant of an everlasting priesthood. It says Jesus, but it's talking about Joshua, fulfilled the word, was made a judge in Israel. Caleb, for bearing witness before the congregation, received the heritage of a land. David, for being merciful, possessed the throne of an everlasting kingdom. Elijah, for being zealous and fervent for the law, was taken up into heaven. Elijah. And Ananias, Azariah, and Mishael, by believing, were saved out of the flame. Daniel, for his innocency, was delivered from the mouth of the lion. And thus consider ye throughout all ages that none that put their trust in him shall be overcome. Fear not then the words of a sinful man, for his glory shall be dung and worms. Today he shall be lifted up, and tomorrow he shall not be found, because he is returned into his dust, and his thoughts is come to nothing. Wherefore, ye my sons, be valiant, and show yourselves men in behalf of the law, for by it shall ye attain glory. This is him giving instructions to his children. Beautiful. And behold, I know that your brother Simon is a man of counsel. Give ear unto him always. He shall be a father unto you. You see that? He giving instructions in order who's going to be next, who's going to be doing this. As for Judas Maccabeus, he had been mighty and strong even from his youth up. Let him be your captain and fight the battle of the people. They wasn't jealous of each other. These brothers knew, because they knew their father. Why he got to be the captain? Why he got to be like a father? They understood and respect. Not like now. Take also unto you all those that observe the law, and avenge ye the wrong of your people. Recompense fully the heathen, and take heed to the commandments of the law. So he blessed them, like the father does. He blessed them and was gathered to his fathers. And he died in the 146th year, and his sons buried him in the sepulchre of his father at Martin. And he, Salakia, and all Israel made great lamentations for him. So that's a great father, because what was he doing? Teaching his children the law. We'll close it out with Deuteronomy 6 and verse 1. I'm going to start at 1. We'll close it out like this. We'll read all the way down to 9, but we're going to start at 1. It says, now these are the commandments, the statutes, and the judgments which the Lord your God commanded to teach you, that ye might do them in the land whether you go to possess it, that thou mayest fear the Lord thy God, to keep all his statutes and his commandments, which I command thee, and thy sons sons, all the days of thy life, and that the days may be prolonged. That your days may be prolonged. You keep these commandments so you can live. Hear therefore, O Israel, and observe to do it, that it may be well with thee, and that ye may increase mightily, as the Lord God our fathers have promised thee, in the land that floweth with milk and honey. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one Lord. And thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy might. And these words which I command thee this day shall be in thy heart, and thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children, and shalt talk of them when thou sittest in the house, and when thou walkest by the way, and when thou liest down, and when thou risest up, and thou shalt bind them for a sign upon thy hand, and they shall be as frontlets between thy eyes, and thou shalt write them upon the posts of thy house, on thy gates. And it shall be, when the Lord thy God shall have brought thee into the land which he sweareth unto thy fathers, to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob, to give thee the great and godly city which thou buildest not. You see that? And we didn't have to build it. It was already built for us, man. But he told us what we're supposed to do, man. Talk like a real father teaches his children the commandments. And guess what? Children that obey and honor their father will listen. So we don't celebrate Father's Day on the third Sunday of June when the so-called white man tell us, because we honor our fathers and mothers every day. And that's just not saying your father. That's just not saying your father, because it says that the elders be counted as fathers towards you and the elder women as mothers. So you do things the right way. So Israel, don't you be celebrating Father's Day. You honor your father every day. And our Father you really need to honor is the Most High by keeping his laws, statutes, and commandments. So Israel, I'm so glad that you could join your brother today with another beautiful topic. I pray that you learned something new, and what you learned, you apply to your everyday life. Pray that you stand strong in these last days. Keep the faith and the commandments to the best of your ability. Try, Israel. Try your best to offend less. And Israel, until next time, Shalom.
Hey,
Hey,
can we talk? Can we talk, Charity? I just want to let you know, from now on, things are going to be different. I'm going to be the kind of father that his kid only sees him on the weekends. It's not the kind of life I want for my son. My son!
you don't even know his name.
It doesn't matter. Maury said it was a 99.9% chance that he is mine. And I'm on to that. Anyway, I want my kid to wake up every morning and see my face. Here, put this in his room. I'm out.